Greetings everyone, here again Lodrik out of China, out of FA. This is the game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is a play by email match against Jochen. Jochen, the allied player. For me, it is the Empire of Japan, and today we will check the 11th January 1942. And last turn we saw the second Battle of Clarkfield with a balanced outcome. Still nothing really to break the Allies, but it's weakened the defense more and more. And the air battle was partly successful. I lost 4 zeros, but also hurt even with higher numbers the Allied Air Force. So nice, but nothing critical. In the Navy, I think long term already no engagement more. So, and other stuff is moving around the map. So we will see how this turn is now. Many submarines all around Kabul, 5, 6, maybe even more. And here is again a Mark 14 was hit but no explosion, luckily. So my cargo ship can survive this. But there are really submarines all around Kabul, Truk. Here is one of my sub-chasers trying to get rid of one of these submarines at least. We are here in shallow water, so maybe there's a possibility. And we have at least some smaller damage, maybe 5 hits, but 5 is normally not enough. It will maybe force the submarine to return to port and get some repair, but not for sinking. Because there are always some Catalinas coming out of the space, so I send now some heavy cruiser formation in, make some bombardment. The results are maybe mixed. So they have some P-35 maybe for the defense and some Seagulls, but no Catalina here so far. Maybe the Catalinas are already out of the space, hard to say. There's also AVP with 1 shell hit, maybe little damage. Not too much damage directly on the base, but yeah, it was an attempt. I think this is the same submarine we had just before, but now we are in deep water, and in deep water normally this kind of sub-chasers, they cannot operate with 6s. This is Truk again, other submarine here looking around. And again, the submarines, I think 90% they can dive deep and then no chance. Again, more scout airplanes everywhere. And bad weather grounded my Air Force again. So I sweep this unit because I want to bombard it and I want to make sure that there's no heavy fighter cover like last turn. But it looks like Jochen did nothing this turn. Here the source the same. So Jochen give up more or less to cover his forces. Typical for American units. If it's time to share the blood, they let the allies behind. They only try to save their own lives. No honor. No Japanese will ever do this. So I bring in my support carrier fleet here with still support equipment. You can see cloud fighters and the K2 N1 edition. So the outdated Kate and the outdated cloud against outdated P-35s. So a battle of second class units. But it shows me that at least Jochen have here some cap fighters. And everyone shoot at each other with not really much effect. Okay, we damage one, but also lose one. I must of course upgrade this cloud fighters as soon as possible. Yeah, but I still have not the production numbers. I'm now already at 100 zeros per month, but so this was an escort mission. So again, normally I always like to sweep first, but in this case I was not sure. I keep my zeros back to cover my carriers and not to support this airstrike. Because I simply don't know what is here on the ground. So we lose one cloud, but we can kill one seagull on the ground. So kill ratio is maybe 1-to-1. And we damage a little more stuff. And we see here again, no Catalinas. Yeah, but maybe I missed them simply only. Because this is an airfield attack or airport strike. And I'm not so sure if seaplanes are belonging now to the airport, or maybe they are part of the port. Maybe if I make a port attack, I will attack them. But hard to say. Normally, in Pearl Harbor strike, you also kill Catalinas if you make the airfield attack. Yeah. Maybe there are simply really no Catalinas. Anyway, this is now here this Chinese HQ trying to run away, and I won't get rid of it, but it's still there. So maybe next strike. Still there. So after my sweep find nothing, looks like I can make a free bombardment. Yeah, not much killed, but many disabled again. Here's the same. Heavy escort, because I only want to make sure that there's nothing surprising me. And again, many disabled units. now there was just the unit disappeared. So this was now the killing attack. So this was the last 5 non-combat units of this, I think, HQ. There was a name? Oh no, somewhere I think last time I battled it and there was the HQ. So whatever here was, yeah, here. Lusu War Area. So it's the HQ. It's a war area, so it's a 4-star general that just gets killed. A little more. None of these attacks are really enough to stop Jochen, but they cost him every day a little more. These are these famous crazy Chinese bomber pilots coming and attacking here in heavy flak and cannot achieve anything. Now it's time for scouting, recon. So, afternoon. Okay. So my cruiser formation is still detected. I try always find a spot where there's maybe no detection. But it looks like Jochen have really everywhere Navy scouts. Makes sense. Compared to Dojo, he maybe find out that knowing that there's an enemy is the best defense strategy. If you know there's some cruiser formation coming, you can always try to run with your cargo ships. Even if the cargo ships are not fast enough, it's still possible often to escape to the next big port. And a little more. This was not. But nothing really big happened here. And for the last activity, Mark 14 failure. And my patrol boat, of course, have no chance to really do something. But again, 4 torpedoes wasted. Not that I mean, in real life, of course, the Americans, they had also a shortage on torpedoes. Not that the Mark 14 are not working. Also, the production numbers was far too small. I think first in summer of 43, the production was at a level that can really keep up with the demand. And also the technology was, I think, at that time at a level that you can use a Mark 14 as a weapon, not only by luck. So again, bombardment here. So it looks like, I'm not more sure, but it looks like here are some Chinese artillery showing up. They will Jochen reinforce this. I'm not more so sure, but it looks like he bring in some stuff. Because somehow I lost here more than I expected. Still I can disable many more and I would still accept this outcome, but it's a little surprising for me. So maybe, I really don't know more. I thought before there was only corps. We have here many corps, but now we have also heavy mortars and artillery, anti-tank guns. Maybe. I was sure that the Chinese have nothing bigger than a light mortar. Maybe by name they call it artillery. And in reality they are only 50mm mortars or something like this. So a light turn with not any surprising activity. Moving stuff around. A little unluckily I lose 3 victory points by low garrison. One is by Nila and one is here in China. Because if you have less than 10% under garrison, then there's always this possibility. Here, this is here also 1 garrison point I lost here. Oh, and 1 victory point because I'm here then less than 10%. So so long you keep normally the 90%, I think I never saw that I lose a victory point. But if you are less than 10% under, or less than 90% of the garrison requests, then it is possible. But more likely if you have less than 80%. So most of the time I try normally to be over 80%, because then it's happened maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 victory points per week or per month, and this is maybe acceptable. So again, let's check the intelligence report. Is so yeah, not much happened. 4-to-1 kill ratio in air. 2 Catalinas, ops losses, and a seagull killed at the ground. +1, this P-35 gets damaged and also written off. So I kill nearly nothing when you destroy something on the ground, but the ops losses are still high for Jochen. And Catalinas, and especially these Type 5, they're always good if they're dead. But this is a Catalina Type 5. I think most of the time they are Type 4. Let me check. Total numbers. Catalina. Oh no, this is Catalina 5. Totally 18 killed. But not, this is maybe other nation. The problem, same type of airframe, of course, have also different nation. So this is maybe now not American Catalinas. Maybe they are now British Catalinas or whatever. It's normally, of course, it would help if there's always a nation name behind, but there's always something can improve. So, and my cloud fighter is of course now, I think, killed. Or no, he's official. He jumped out of the airframe, so he's not killed, but his mission in action because enemy territory. So maybe if I can take the base in the future, I have a chance to get the pilot back. So far I know it's only like 10 or 20% chance. Okay. Anything else? Ships sunk? No, there was nothing. I hear nothing. I only damaged some submarine, but even the game don't give me hope to kill something. And I also hear no sound, so I would say nothing. So, not really too active here in Saigon, not Saigon, Xi'an. I'm still moving stuff up. And I realized that I mess up some units, so some units I bring back because they are the wrong units. And because I know I have here now 300,000 Chinese, so at least 160,000 Chinese soldiers. And I have only 100,000 soldiers, so I know that maybe I have still more attack value, but we have here like 210,000 guys against 320,000, so at least 50% more soldiers on the Chinese side. I have here still roughly 50,000 guys more coming, so I can reinforce my lines. I come from 6,500 plus 1,500, so I can come up to 8,000 attack value. Still, I'm not so sure if I really want to fight here in this triple defense terrain. This will likely have a not so good outcome. So I must maybe find another solution. Here in the source is no big change. I'm bringing some tank units down to maybe, if Jochen try to move out of this hex completely, I can maybe bring in this and take the base behind him. I also have here some other reinforcements coming up, some support division, and more is maybe coming with the ship to unload in Canton, and then I can reinforce here Kukong, and then maybe we can block each other. We will see in the next 5 days, maybe 1 week, if there's a big change. And Malaya, I think is no change because no one moved. So here's some. I saw this already coming. My scout planes told me this. So some British Malayan forces are blocking now the railway. So both are cut. But I already bring some support units to Kuala Lumpur, and in 1 or 2 turns I'm ready to clean up this trash. I mean, you can see it's brown dark, so everyone knows they are shitty. Who will have brown uniformity? Uniforms. This cannot end well. Anything big happened here? So my carrier cruisers are already on the way back. I normally don't want they run away so fast, but they did it anyway. I consume only half of my ammunition. I could normally make a second attack bombardment, but okay, doesn't matter. It will not change too much. And my carriers, I will also maybe move now back. Cloud fighters are, really not so good for fighting. Not more in these days. In Rabaul, we saw many submarines here nearby, but now they all disappeared. I saw no I don't know exactly why, but it can be that my Navy scouts was not working today. I saw no detection from them, or second possibility is that Jochen moved out his submarines more far away, because I have only a range of 2 for my sub-hunters so far for my Air Force. Normally it's so far I understand, it makes more, if you have less hex, you have more high detection rate. If you cover more hexes, every hex have less detection value, but maybe I still will increase this now, see how it really changed. I can go up to 10, I think, easily. So this means I can go up to 5 hexes, because sub-hunting is always only half range. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So everything here included. If there's some submarine next turn, I will find it. And if it's more than 5 hexes away, then I'm not so sure if Jochen can really find my cargo ships coming in and out. Anything else? Looks like Port Moresby, I lost my detection. I only know that there are 15 units, and I think I saw some days ago, I think like 20,000 guys are already here. I don't know how many guys I have. I have roughly 25,000, so maybe similar attack value. I'm not sure, maybe a little less. Maybe Jochen have like 300 to 400 attack value if it's really around 20,000 guys, or if you have 25,000 guys, maybe it's a similar setup. Hard to say, I don't know what units you have inside, but I would say at least 300 attack value. because I don't believe that it's only all engineers. Can be no only engineers, but unlikely. I also completely fill up this airfield with 148 out of 150, and I have here now a lot of my crew carrier divisions training for Navy attack or scout. Most of these pilots are elites. There's not more much they can learn, but they can try to get a little more Navy scout, because I normally use them for Navy scout if I don't have float planes with me. Something like this. I will also, I don't know if there's much more to say. I still lack the power to, because I know more or less that he has more than Dojo had. First I was thinking that I maybe can try to rush for Port Moresby, but now if I see this high numbers of 25,000 guys, I maybe need more tech value. So I will maybe first pick up everything else, but not Port Moresby. We'll see. And the carriers are mostly still under maintenance, let's say this. So in 3 days my carriers are done. My heavy cruisers need a little longer. These heavy cruisers have a little major damage, so I cannot fix this now because my port is still too small. I need, I think, a port of, I'm not more sure, port of 5 or port of 6 to fix this. I have official not only a port of 3, but I have a lot of Navy support, so I have a higher rearm level. So I can rearm here nearly every cruiser and carrier, but not battleships, I would say. I'm not sure. Battleships? I don't have here battleships, though. No. I only operate here heavy cruisers and carriers, and this is more easy to rearm. And here's also some shitty submarine nearby. Of course in deep water. And I'm building here up the port of level 7. This is the highest port I can go, 3 over the nature level. So maybe 1 or maximum 2 more turns. I have here 130 engineers, so I think I can make 10% per day, so maybe I need 2 days more, then I can fix this. Once this port is over, then there's not more much to build up here. I can make the fort level higher, but I would say this is not in a rush. Most of the engineers, maybe 100 engineers, I will bring to Rabaul and help to build up there. And once I'm finished with Rabaul, I must still bring up Shortlands, Tulagi, and if possible also some additional ports like here or Russell Islands. These 2 bases are also nice to have at a forward base, even if I don't have Port Moresby, but then I can scout here everything and make sure that there's nothing coming in surprise from the source, at least. And also here I can cover in the north, so Rabaul will be safe, let's say this. At least mostly safe. Here's not more much to say. This was last turn. I had this attack, and we are now from 20 down to 15 roughly. So I think every day I can reduce the disruption by 5%. So in 3 days this will be less than around 5% maybe, and the fatigue maybe needs a little longer. So I would say not before 15th, maybe first around 18th January I can attack again. I have here still also the information that there's at least 1 airfield damage, so Jochen still repair here. And last turn I had here bad weather. I don't really know why, but there was information that bad weather grounded my air force, and I don't know exactly. It's overcast and partly cloudy, so I don't know why. And normally I don't overstack any airport. I have enough aviation support, I never overstack, so Not sure why they, but and I have also a HQ here. So normally there's everything what you can get and ask for, and still no airstrike. Sometimes this happens. Saigon, long time I was not more in Saigon. I think 3 years ago I was the last time in Saigon. Because we have also a project, or say I have 3 customers normally near to Saigon, but it's in this nearby. I think 1 hour driving with the car southeast. Here are some smaller towns. But Vietnam is always nice to travel. Friendly girls, good food, not too expensive, good beer. What do you ask for more? Don't ask for big tits. Don't ask for big butt. But the rest you can get. Yeah, Saigon, I don't build up more. So port 6 is... Normally I like to have the port 7 because it will nearly double or triple the rearm level. But once I take the Singapore, there's no real need for Saigon more. I have Hong Kong, I have Singapore. Later I have also in Java Surabaya. So I don't invest here much because I can go up to 6 for normal price. Everything after this I must pay triple this price. So why? I use this mainly for training ground maybe. I have here still some, more or less you can see, just enough aviation support. And again, the first number is aviation support for land airplanes, and this plus number is always only for seaplane or float plane aircraft. So this is always additional aviation support provided by tenders. So here are AV tenders. So these ships, they provide aviation support. And I think I'm not sure it is really... Oops, this was wrong. So I don't know if different size of AV ships have different aviation support. I not really check this too carefully. I only know they have aviation support, and I know that they can have different capacity, how many aircraft they can carry. Yeah, here they can see this is a seaplane support 21. This is also 21 and 60 sorties. So they are all the same. Okay, they are all the same class. No, different class. 6,000 tons, 7,000 tons. Okay, so they have sorties, they have seaplane support, and they have the same capacity. So in the sorties, I think there's also a possibility to have AV ships. They only can carry airplanes and seaplane support, but they don't have sorties. I think they are smaller. Let's see. I don't know if I can really find this fast. AV, but they're all big. Here is a smaller one. No, they also have, and they're all big. Yeah. Oops, wrong direction. AMC, AV. Yes, the problem is that if you open here, then you don't get the order. I normally want to check them all, but I think they're all the same type. Only this one is the other type, but even this ship has the same layout. So okay, it is like it is. So I keep here in Saigon only for information, maybe some interesting. So I will normally move here out the supplies. I had here, I think, 250,000 supplies and also a lot of fuel, but now I bring this to Singapore, to Bangkok, and also to Miri. In Miri to fix the oil production. And here what I keep is normally, I maybe go down a little more with, yeah, I've still here 20 at Garrison, too much, so I maybe can take 1, 2, these 3 engineer groups I can maybe bring to Bangkok or to Singapore. Then I reduce the Garrison, and of course I also will reduce this the aviation support. But yeah, I normally only train here now pilots. I regroup most of them, so you can see that they all have now a size of 24. Up to now I don't have enough airframes that I can always fill them up. Some, but not all. Like, yeah, this one is not reformed up to now. But most of them are already at 24. But this one have only 2 airplanes. And here's the same. But here, okay. And then I can use them for training pilots. Most of the time I will first say Navy search is the first stuff they learn. And after Navy search I would give a pilot often a second class, like I don't know more, they're all on Navy search. Ah, here, Navy attack now. And after Navy attack, this isn't done. Normally if I let them train up to Navy search over 60, then Navy bombardment over 60, then I can kick these pilots out back in the pool, and then I will call these pilots into a air wing with torpedoes, and there they learn to use torpedoes, and then they have torpedo skill, Navy bombardment skill plus Navy search skill. And this is normally everything what a torpedo bomber needs to operate. At the same time they learning by the way also defense, but again this value is nice to have for everyone, but will have only an impact for fighter pilots, and I think no one else. Maybe for recon airplanes, because they have oft fast airplanes, but at torpedo bomber and normal bomber the pilot can have so much skill he wants, the airplane is still slow. So this is the tactic I will use normally. Because the only stuff you can really not learn with this kind of airframe is torpedo attacks. This is not possible. But I can use them to Navy search. I can use them for ground attack. But I'm not sure if this is really useful. I can do this, but I think this is really one of the lowest skills for a Navy bomber pilot. Possible, but really very low priority for me. But I can also use this for learn to teach the pilot to make sweeps and even to make recon, and also for submarine patrol. So most pilots you can train with this kind of airframes and air wings. And because you can reform all of the scout airplanes or seaplanes, and they don't have really much use if you don't active use them for scouting something, and you have so many air wings, I would say that at least 50% of all air wings of these float planes I use only for training. So long I can, I have only the problem, I have many air wings. I can also create them, I can always make them big out of 24, but I have a lack of aircraft. You can see this is my pool. My pool is completely empty, so even if I create now many air wings with high numbers, I can never fill them up so fast. But so in the long run, maybe in the long run, here in Saigon, Singapore, not Saigon, I also reform what is possible to reform with Akagi. This is here, no, this. Yeah, so these units you cannot reform because they have a fixed change. So what is fixed change cannot change. Cannot change. Oh no. But this one. So this one is a free change because it's carrier capable, is also trained, but also capable at least. I can land this airframe on a carrier, in this case Akagi. I reform it. The maximum I can create is 81. I think the Allies, they have more capacity, 99 or 108 or something like this. But Japan only can create maximum of 81. This is only a possible maximum number. Where I can get all these airframes, I don't know. It needs a long time for me. So you can see my 0 pools are also empty. But at least I can try. And the best way to do this is normally save the file before you do anything. Then I have here the Akagi. Here's the maximum capacity is 81. I have here now some torpedo bombers. I just reform them. Then if you unload them now here in port, then the units will unload by crane. This means they disable or they take the wings away and everything else, and they I don't know how they will unload really this. But you need 1 or 2 days, up to 3 days, I think, to get this airframes operational again. So I normally prefer to make a new carrier fleet. Take this carrier. Only need the carrier, nothing else. Make sure it is not docked. So this is docked. No, I don't want docked. I want undock. Then I can tell them, okay, and now fly to the base. Fly to Singapore. Okay. Carrier is empty. No air wing left. And here is my air wing now. And if I see that something gets destroyed, I normally reload my file. If there's something only damaged, then I normally continue, because I don't try to make it here perfectly. But I don't like, of course, wasting my precious airframes for something so stupid. To take off of a carrier and land safely must be possible. If you damage your airplane, okay, I say it's okay, can happen, but don't crash it. Especially if then at the same time also the pilot die. It is a little... You can call this gamey if you want, but I don't... At least with Japan, I cannot waste this kind of stuff. Allies, I think they have unlimited cowboys. So, no problem for them. So, yeah, and now this carrier is still not docked. And I have here other air wing, I know this. Then I will tell this air wing, because this is air wing is open to reform, and it is not at 81 already. It will remove at 7th April, so I can reform this, but I have only then 3 months left to really use it. We will see. But I can now say transfer to ship. Akagi, yes, fly to Akagi. And there we have 17 airplanes, and the one damaged or under maintenance is still here. It needs 1 more day. Now on the Akagi we have this air wing. It's official 18. You can check the group, then you can see the mother or the core unit have a maximum of 18, but now they are only 17, and the attachment is with 1 to 1. So if this enters here, then you have 18 to 18. What I do now is normally simply call this unit disband. It will go back to port, and with this wait, sometimes you must yeah, sometimes this you must reload the game. Sometimes there's a, I don't know if you call it bug. I can sometimes, maybe this works, I don't know. Kage. Done. No. Sometimes this is not working. I maybe forgot to push the button. This can also be. Reform. No change. Still under reform. Disband the task force. Open again. Check. Now it changed. Okay, maybe I forgot to change it. So, and here we have it. Now this wing have a maximum capacity of 81. So, not more 18 maximum, 81 maximum. So, this is the way how to reform air wing only, by the way. So, but I think most know this already. So, I'm not more sure. Maybe the last thing, because it's really long time ago. Here is Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, there are still some battleships, because I bring here my battle cruisers. Here there are battleships, but I would say these are battle cruisers. With a 200mm belt armor, I would say these are not battleships. And we have also high speed, so you can call it fast battleship. But I would say a fast battleship. This is not a fast battleship, because a fast battleship have like a Bismarck or a Washington is fast, but still have normally the armor protection similar to the guns. So very old. How to calculate or to separate the classes. The belt armor of a ship, if it has the same size as the guns, then it's a battleship. So if I have here now normally 350mm, then I would say it's a battleship. But with 200mm, this is normally only a battle cruiser. Because I can show, here is Mutsu, the famous Nagato battleship with his 50 shell hits and no major damage, is still under repair on the pier side. And here we have at least 270. Nagato's battleships are still also only lightly, I would say this is a softer or smaller, thinner protection. I don't know more where I have the other battleships. I have here also the older class battleships. Here in Fuso. Fuso have the 300mm. And if we check the mother of all battleships, the Yamato, this is of course a little overkill. It's 400mm. But of course we have your 460mm guns, so you can see this is as a 400mm. I think it's nearly impossible to penetrate with at least no a 15-inch shell. I think will not penetrate this. I don't really can believe this. 16-inch. Maybe, we will see. I don't know if I can get these ships ever in active duty. And they're consuming a lot of fuel. This is, so you cannot really use them too active. You must make sure where you want to use them and how you want to use them. They also have low ammunition, so they can only fight once and then they must return and get rearmed and so. So maybe for short bombardment they're okay, but of course it's a waste of money and potential power, and the risk is high to lose these ships for any sneaking submarine. Not that the submarine can maybe sink this ship, but cripple this. That's for sure. Good, thank you. I think this is enough for today. See you next time. Bye bye.